Okay, and we're back. And I just sprayed the first coat of poly spray on here. Just probably not 20 or 30 minutes since I made the last video. And it looks really good. This is when you're gonna see if you did good or not. Areas that you thought before were great, when you spray poly spray on it, you go like, man, look at that. So here you go, the grommets. Again, we don't care about the inside. This is all gonna cut out here, so we always care about the grommets from here out to the tape line. And you can see everything is looks really nice and smooth. There's nothing anywhere that you see. This is just the first coat of poly spray. I will actually let this sit out overnight, and I'll come back tomorrow and put the second coat on. See around the baggage door, looks very nice. Everything's nice and smooth around here. The transition between the metal and the carbon fiber and the fabric is almost seamless. You really can't even see it. It's about as good as you can get. The top of the patch around here, and of course you'll see the taped edges. Everything here you can see is just absolutely perfect as you can get it. You can see you can see the teeth edges on your fabric, on your tapes. Some people told me they like to sand the heck out of this, and some people I've even seen go in and say they want to sand the teeth off of the edges. Well, this is a cub. This is a plane that's made to be made out of fabric. And I just kind of think that tapes are part of it. But you can also see how when you apply these tapes, getting them nice and straight and even is very important, because you will see that tape, that line. So I take a lot of time and really put those tapes down straight when you put them down. Pay a lot of attention to what you're doing before you get to this stage, because this is where you're gonna see it. This literally dries in minutes. You'll see just where the overspray, or not the overspray, but the laps of the spray are, which is fine. This is just the first coat. The next coat I'll put on a little heavier. I'll get it to where it just about wants to run. And you'll see areas like this where it's meeting the carbon fiber. This is the door panel here. It'll always kind of show like that, but when you fill it in again with another coat and then spray it with the top coat, that'll fill in and you'll never see that. It's just the metal areas, it'll kind of want to do that. So there you go, first coat of poly spray is done. And again, this is always, I'm quite happy with this. This is as good as it gets, I think. But I don't know, the first plane I did, I looked at it and went like, holy cow, where did that come from? Did that come from? And boy, you can really see that and that. And I went back and had to spend a lot of time fixing and making stuff look better. It's all just cosmetic, but of course that counts on a $340,000 airplane, right? So I mix up my poly spray. Poly spray and poly brush does not go bad. It doesn't set up or get hard. So after it's mixed, you can keep it for years, they say. So if you mix up a little extra, no big deal. Mix it all up so you don't have to mix it all the time. I have it mixed in this tub here. And what I do, just to be sure, you have to make sure it doesn't evaporate. I just didn't happen to have an empty can yet, but once I have an empty can, I'll start mixing it in an empty can and putting the lid on tight. But just a little bit of the plastic wrap over the top to be sure we're holding that MEK, we're holding it in, not letting it evaporate out yet, and it'll keep just fine until tomorrow when I put the second coat on it. When you open a new can of poly spray, if you go down to the bottom, it's probably going to be about a ½ inch thick of all the silver stuff. So you'll have to really get in there, and a paint shaker won't do it. You just take a stick and you just go in there and you keep working it and working it and working it until you get it broken up. It really probably 15 minutes of just breaking up the stuff at the bottom, all the metal thick stuff, and mixing it back up together. After you mix it, keep it stirred well right before you pour it into your paint can. When you put your paint can up here with your gun and then filter it, be sure you stir it up good right before it goes into the filter and then into your paint drum. Then as I'm spraying, I'll take the paint gun and just give it a little shake every once in a while. Be sure you got the top on, but give it a little shake. At the very bottom of your cup, down here, down here, actually the heavy stuff will start to accumulate. So I don't like to do a whole lot. I might do a half of a can to start with, and when I start getting low, I come back over, But before, I don't just pour new poly spray on top of it. I pour this back out. And you'll see it's thicker at the bottom. It starts to kind of accumulate here. Dump that all out back into your mix. Stir that all up good and then pour it back into here. And then, like I say, as you're spraying, just give it an occasional little shake, you know, just to keep it kind of shook up. Same thing if you're spraying top coat with metallic particles, you know, metal flake in it. You want to keep the metal flakes stirred up from gathering at the bottom. And again, that's 4 to 1, 4 parts of poly spray to 1 part of reducer. And you can just keep it till your project's done, mixed up. And today looks like it's about 78 degrees in here, so it's just about perfect. It's dried out, you know, literally in just minutes, but I'll let it gas off for 24 hours and we'll come back in tomorrow and finish the second coat. If you've got any questions on all of this, I try to kind of quickly cover as much as I can, but if you've got any questions, just ask. Thanks. See ya.